Hello everybody and welcome to Let's Try. My name is Retromation and this is Once Upon a Rogue's Tale, a storybook roguelike deck builder that I'm excited to be checking out here today. Out now on Steam in early access, so in we're gonna go to see what it's all about. In this tutorial, you will learn how the battles in Once Upon a Rogue's Tale works. Be sure to follow along to the end. First, you'll draw your hand cards, then you roll the dice. After that, you can decide what to do with the dice you have, and when you finish your turn, the enemy makes their move. We roll our dice too, eh? Okay. You need dice for every action that you want to play in battle. Use them to play your cards and activate character abilities. Huh. There's 6 different symbols representing the 5 classes and a joker. Hand cards can be played with any die color. Character abilities sometimes will require a specific color. Hand cards can be played with any color. Okay. Red Riding Hood's attack needs 1 green die and 1 die of any color. So you should always re-roll the dice that you don't need. Select all of the dice except for the joker die and hit confirm. Okay. So that one's our joker. Most passive abilities will trigger at the start of every turn. They activate automatically as long as the requirement is met. To see what an enemy intends to do, you will have to hover over this icon above the enemy. Oh, hello. To play a hand card, simply drag it from your hand. Hand cards will always be played with any die. Play one of your defend cards now and select your character as the target. Okay. Check the character's passive, hover over them. At the start of your turn, get 2 block. Gotcha. To find out more about your characters or your enemies, simply right-click them. You'll see all of the abilities they can use. Oh, wow. Okay. This is our ability. Cost 1 green, 1 of anything. Surely we're going to be getting more characters for the party here. In order to use one of your character's abilities, left-click them. Boop. Since hand cards don't deal damage, the only way to attack... Oh, okay. Hand cards won't do damage. The only way to attack an enemy is to use your character's abilities. Select the first ability and choose the enemy as your target. Can only be used twice per turn. Sometimes you'll have dice left that you can't use for anything. They will not be carried over to the next round. If you can't do anything else, you have to end your turn. The enemy will take their turn next. Press the end turn. Oh, I'm not used to it being right over here. This is always down here. Enemies will now play out their selected ability. The board will attack you now. Okay. I mean, we had 5 shield. You had enough block, didn't take any damage. The rest goes away or stays. I clicked too fast. We'll find out pretty quick. It says 2 right here. If it goes away, obviously it goes away. After each ability is played, the enemy's turn automatically ends and a new round begins. Okay, so we got some wild. We don't particularly care about... anything else here. Like, we'll keep the greens in the wilds, right? Like, as we get other characters, surely we'll change it. Okay, block does go away. Confirmed. We just got 2 more block at the start of our turn. We also have a special type of hand card, a permanent card. They appear on the field and stay there for a set amount of time. Spawn a permanent card by playing the leftmost card. Ooh. Summon a companion for help. Hover over permanent cards to get more information about its effect, how long it stays in the field, and then when it triggers. Okay. At the start of every turn, summon 2 wild boars on the field. Okay. Why'd I even go out of my way to get all them greens then, huh? Yep. Okay, for right now, it's basically just select unused. Huh. I mean, I guess that's kind of nice. Most permanent cards trigger after all of the character's passive abilities are played at the start of the turn. Okay, so we get our block, and then we summon the help. Holy crap. If either you or the enemy has more characters on the field, positioning becomes important. Red Riding Hood cannot attack the enemy in this spot. It can swap the positions of 2 characters by dragging it, but it will cost a die. So it uses up the red one. I wonder... So it's got to have like a system for knowing what one we're less likely to use or what? Because otherwise, Can I, like, tap the mana, basically? I don't know. That's all you need to know to play Once Upon a Rogue's Tale. You can choose whether you want to finish this battle or skip the rest. I mean, I'm willing to. Cheering, discard a card and draw 2 cards. That's a thing we can do for... I mean, we should be able to throw this out twice, right? You're going to be attacking for 5. That being said, we would have to... Target receives a strength. You know what? I think let's just stand here and block. Okay. The fact that we actually had an interesting decision on turn, like the first turn after the tutorial, like there was absolutely a choice to make there. We could swap positions instead and have the boars take the hit, but I feel like that actually doesn't make a ton of sense. But yeah, like or I could have even been wild and stayed there and done another attack. Like basically the fact that we did have 3 or 4 strategic decisions with their own potential benefits and drawbacks there is really, really cool. Like, I know it seems like a low, that was stupid. But we'll swap now, because we can. Ooh! You didn't tell me that the boar has abilities. Swaps wild boar with a random neighbor. Okay. That's pretty cool, too. So what we can do is try and get... Wow. We could try and get lucky right away with the wild boar. Whew. Okay. I mean, we tried, right? Like, it doesn't really matter. But you see, like, we take a couple RNG rolls before anything. Choose your starting character. I mean, we will go with Red Riding Hood. The UI there was a little bit funky. Wow. Okay, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different potential starting passives. That is pretty wild. Chapter 1, A Visit to the Forest. Once upon a time, there was a small brick house deep in a thickly overgrown forest. The windows from which the smell of freshly baked bread usually wafted were closed. The cottage was surrounded by a deceptive silence. A little girl dressed in a big red coat approached with quick steps. Because she wore the coat every day, the girl was simply called Red Riding Hood by everyone. Red Riding Hood wanted to visit her grandmother, who lived all alone in the forest, but when she opened the heavy door, she was startled. For what it's worth, it looked like we could skip over this if we wanted to. Bowls lay broken on the floor, the curtains were torn, and the walls were covered in strange scratches. Red Riding Hood ran off in fear. She ran and ran until she reached her home, completely out of breath. Her father, the hunter, could certainly help, but the hut at the edge of the forest, where they had lived together, was completely empty. However, the worry about her grandmother was too great to wait for her father, so Red Riding Hood plucked up all her courage and grabbed one of her father's bows. Thus equipped, she returned to the forest and went hunting all by herself. Okay. It's cool that that's there. Like, I do believe we could have just skipped past if we wanted. We'll see at the next one. Herb Gentleman with hazelnuts? What? Why are we killing him? What's your deal? What? With an enchanted hazelnut? This gentleman turns every debuff against him into a buff for his enchanted hazelnut. But why? Maybe this is a storybook thing that I just don't know off the top of my head. But what's his deal? Ally receives 2 block, gains strength. Herb Gentleman with hazelnut receives 2 endurance. Draw 2 cards and then banish this. Gain a Joker die and then banish this card. Ooh. Though, that was not particularly important. Whenever on damage or debuff received does gain some strength, I'm not going to just, like, not do anything, though. But we can't attack again, because we can only do it twice a turn. So maybe a bit of a silly idea to even use our special banish card there. All right, 2 block. So if we can get 2 ability casts here, which we already can. We already can. Take aim. We have 1, 2. So we even have the ability to take aim, which should make us do 6 damage twice. Not that we even needed to. Okay. All right. We get both? We do indeed. Choose a hand card. But calling it a hand card feels so weird. Because, I mean, I guess it's because, like, the characters are also cards? I suppose. Take aim. You also receive a fatigue. Get -1 die per fatigue next dice phase. Huh. Ally receives a block for every strength. And then the ally loses a strength. The thing is, you can use this after you've used this strength for your turn. Like, it does seem like strength is permanent, however. Spawn swift movement for 3 turns. Hello. The start of every turn, a random ally gets to block and an ironclad. So for 3 turns, this effect happens. Again, the phrasing on it, like, I think it might be for clarification, but, like, it actually is ending up confusing me a little bit more. I think it's just, like, it's like a power in Slay the Spire or something. But calling it spawn swift movement does throw me for a little bit of a loop. Ally receives... I don't know. I could see the merit in all these, and I could actually see the penalty in all these. I'm glad... Thank you for letting me be able to check my deck. You would not think that that'd be a big deal, but, man, some games just don't let you. I'm really tempted to get a take aim. I'm doing it. I think we had 1 already. Okay, so could we skip? It looks like we could just... We could also just click through. A fallen tree blocked the path. I'm going to read it, though. It was covered in sharp branches and so big that Red Riding Hood didn't dare to climb over it. Instead, she made her way... Oh, we have a choice. Made her way through a few rose bushes at the side of the path. On the other side, Red Riding Hood found a house. Curious, she pushed open the door, but the house was empty. Inside was a table with 7 chairs, which seemed a little too small for her. There were 7 small beds along the wall, and only now did Red Riding Hood realize how exhausted she was. She could hardly decide which sounded more tempting, a little nap or a warm meal. You know? Give me a little bit of a nap. Red Riding Hood gave in to temptation and laid down in one of the beds. She pulled her legs up so that they did not hang out and closed her eyes. Red Riding Hood did not wake up until the next morning and felt better than she had in a long time. She fluffed up the blanket, adjusted the pillow, and smoothed out the sheet, and finally she stepped out into the sunlight and pulled the door to the house shut behind her. No one would ever know that she'd even been here. Okay, so based on what we do in the story, we actually get... Alright, so maybe you can't skip it with that in mind. So these are events. Oh, okay. This is lore. This is an event. This is a character event. Interesting. I kind of wish that I was doing that then. Angry villager. Sorry, mister. I'm going to do a murder upon you. Oof. Okay. So this is a situation that definitely happens as well. Enemy receives a poison. Do 1 unblockable damage per... Oh. I'm going to gain a Joker die here. I think that's going to be important for us. I just want to know. Okay, you can choose right then how to do it. All right, good. So it's unblockable damage, so there's not really a point to give in. So strength goes down when you use it. Also, didn't I gain strength twice? Is it not gain strength? Is it like set strength to 2? Also, we lost his strength when we got hits. Okay, so like a little bit of clarity might be needed on exactly how strength is functioning, because it doesn't seem like it's as straightforward as it sounded. Because we currently don't have any strength. Increase damage dealt by 1 per strength stack. It seems as though it goes down when you attack, and also it seems like, let's just do this here. So we get 2. This is for science. No, it... Well, there's actually nothing I can really... Nah, fine. We can't kill anyways. So what we do is we attack, and then I guess we throw a defend out. So yeah, we lose a strength upon attacking. And then do we lose a strength when we get hit, or when we... Yeah, it seems like it's when we get hit. Because otherwise it would happen right here if it's just at the start of a turn. Bup, bup, bup. Target receives... Oh, wait. Okay, that's what it is. Gather strength just gives you 1 strength. I thought it gave 2. I was getting it tripped up with take aim. That's literally just it. I just mathed it wrong. And by that I mean I just remembered the card wrong. A random ally receives an energy. Shuffle 2 quick ideas into your draw pile, which is a draw 2 cards and then banish the card. I like it. I like it. Invest in the future a little bit. Just because the dopamine of playing a 0 mana draw 2 card. Was it? Okay, hold on. Was it a 0 mana? The theoretical dopamine of playing a 2 mana, or even a 1 mana draw 2 cards is still pretty good. Got a hell of a lot of damage coming in here. We are going to take a hit here. That is just guaranteed. At the start of a return, a random ally receives an ironclad. I mean, that's pretty annoying. Okay, I think we are more interested in starting with this. I'm going to say no to the take aim, I guess, for now. Can I check my draw pile? Yes. It could be nice to... Yeah, never mind. Not good. I was hoping I was going to draw the thing that let me throw cards, the draw cards into my deck, the flower bouquet. Okay. I think this phase could do with a little bit of speeding up as well. You just got a whole bunch of defends. Maybe fine. Okay, so we have... Dang, we could definitely... We could attack twice. Two, 1, 2. So we want to take aim and then attack twice here. That's going to be the answer. So you're obviously getting a decent amount stronger here. Don't love that for us, obviously. What is endurance? Oof. Obviously, we're down some cards. I don't really care that much about drawing greens this turn, I don't think, though. Because I feel like I'll want to defend. Use special skills reduced after use. Is this how many abilities it does? Hazel Head Nut. Enemy takes 7 damage. Receives a rattled. Herb Gentleman with Hazelnut loses 4 endurance. Okay. These are just like different actions that you can do. So are we taking... Oh, hey, that's just like the name of this entire... Gotcha. So the move is called Hazelhead Nut, but it's just... I was afraid that it was 7 damage, and then we also take another 7 damage. But no, it is just, quote-unquote, just the 7 damage. Am I willing to take a small smacking here? Potentially. I'm willing to take a small smacking. So you gain strength when your hits. Because I know you have this passive, but I guess... Huh. Alright. So maybe it is just at the end of the turn. I'm going to take 3 damage. Just because I know this guy scales. And we have the strength up here. It actually doesn't look very good for us getting a kill this turn. Because we have the 1 strength. Theoretically, it goes down. If, yeah, okay, yeah, it absolutely does work that way. All right. I mean, again, another hit is a little bit sketchy, but I think we just send it. Because you're at 1, you're going to gain the 3 block. We'll be able to kill you next turn as long as we get the ability to use 1 attack, which is where the scariness of, like, the dice of it all comes in. If we don't get a wild or a green, that would be really annoying, right? That would be very annoying. Yeah, here. I feel like I need an ally, and I need an ally stat, man. I feel like a second flower bouquet is fine. Swift movement is really good too, though. What is this symbol? Is it just kind of like whether or not it's a one of like the power or whatever the heck? Another flower bouquet is kind of interesting because like you could use the quick ideas as like a way to freely generate another play of a flower bouquet without losing particular value. So I'm going to start there because it's a really interesting basis for me. Rest site. The question is, God, the UI is... the UI does not have the same love that the character art does here. Like, look at this. It's interesting. That's really weird to me. Like even up here and down here, like all of that looks cleaner and up to snuff with the character art. Do I want a shop though? We'll go up. We'll do another event because I'm curious about this system here. The wind shook the branches and tugged at Red Riding Hood's coat. Red Riding Hood sought shelter under a large tree and hoped that the storm would soon pass. Then her eyes fell on a weathered piece of paper that was attached to a tree trunk with a nail. On the piece of paper was written in large letters, "Reward for anyone who delivers the hair of a unicorn or tusk of a wild boar." Now Red Riding Hood was curious. She really could use some money for her journey. Now she just had to decide whether she would rather face a unicorn or a wild boar. I'm curious. Red Riding Hood crouched down and watched the herd of unicorns a few meters away. It had taken a few hours to find them, but now they're finally within reach. Oh, this was the unicorn. Oh my god. 2 of them. All right. So here's my question, though. It's just like, isn't Gather's strength absolutely god-awful? If strength goes down every time you attack, isn't strength just terrible? It's like, why would I spend 2 mana to do 1 more damage? There's got to be something to it that I'm not seeing. Like, I get, to be clear, I get a potential reasoning of like, ooh, you don't have the ability to play your other stuff. But it's like, if you give yourself 1 strength and then you lose it by getting hit or after a turn, then it was just a waste of 2 mana anyways. I don't know. Or if you're like right here, since we can only attack twice, you're like, we'll do gather strength. Well, I don't know. I feel like I'm missing something with it that's not. I mean, we got the wilds, sure. That's not fully being explained away here. All right, not what I was hoping for. We'll throw 1 attack out. Like, in this situation where you have 10, I buff my damage so that I do 5 damage on the next hit and then a 4. It's not even helpful. What's the deal, dude? Okay. Take the Joker die here. Like, I wouldn't mind. All right, get the flower bouquet. Just go crazy. So this does net us the kill. Yeah, so strength down. I mean, sure. And then what do we do with the 1? I mean, I guess we could throw a card just to try and, yeah, get another flower bouquet. Get more free draws in my deck here, which we had 3 of. We got deck cycling, that's for sure. But yeah, 14, you're doing 3 damage. Part of me almost wants to just take that. We could take aim. We could take aim twice and then attack and just kind of see what that does. But then we're going to be drawing 2 less cards next turn. But I need to know for science. We have 4 strength there. This is for science here. We have 5. What happens here? I know I'm going to take 1 damage. Okay, so was that just a passive of a different character? That's what that was. Unless I lose his strength right here. That's just something that another guy did? That was just a thing a guy did. I'm taking another 3. That's fine. That being said, we do lose a strength on attack, which still does bring a little bit of the validity of it into some question. At the very least, like, the raw values proposition is not that great. We need something else with it to make it valuable. Like, I don't know. It was the perfect opportunity to grab some hair, but Red Riding Hood didn't want to frighten the unicorns and lowered the knife again. Then a unicorn girl broke away from the herd and came towards her. She held out her hand, which held a few of her bright, shiny hairs. New character unlocked, Unicorn. Unicorn joins the team. Let's go! Unicorn's blessing costs 0. Ooh. But banish 3 random cards from the hand. Huh. Passive ability, Horn Touch. At the start of every turn, a random ally gets an insight, which is a draw of an extra card. Swap Unicorn with a random neighbor. I mean, absolutely join, yes. I feel like I've needed an ally for a little bit here. Check the shop. We'll go to the next campsite. Wild Boar as, I guess, an ally? Yes, please. Discard a card, draw 3 cards. Okay, we don't need another one. Spawn Lying in Wait. At the start of every turn, a random ally receives a strength. Pay to feed? Oh, okay. Pay a card to feed to the goat. I do think that Gather Strength isn't particularly great. Trim it down. We'll cycle like a son of a gun, dude. Now, as soon as I get cards that I actually want, you're toast, game. So none of these are character events. All right. But now we actually have a little bit of a squad, and positioning matters a bit. Okay, we get the block, we get the insight, and you get block. What is yours? What was it again? It's random. A random ally gets 2 block. We can also spend 1 die for that. Flower Bouquet. You are buffing up the Angry Villager. What are we at? Wait, we got 4, 5. I mean, I don't think we really need the motivation boost here. Okay, so you're attacking there. If I swap, okay, that is indeed how it works. Why am I doing that? You don't have any energy to play it. All right. Whoop. So you got the insight, draw an extra card. Yep. Weakness reduces damage dealt. You guys don't have the ability to do damage, though. It's an important factor. Oh, God, we're doing 1 less. Ugh. So we would need to take aim in order to even get the kill in the first place. Yeah. That's a bit annoying. Oh. Okay. Yeah. Checks out. But also shoot. Man. Bummer. 4 damage here. It doesn't really matter, I guess, which we go for. We're already getting -1 die. Is that something we want to do? Interesting. Do we want to draw 2 less dice? Not really. I'll do it. Screw it. Do it, screw it. Take the 2 there. It's actually pretty easy to just, like, to take a decent amount of damage. So we'll probably go for... Look at all these freaking quick ideas. We got card draw out the wazoo. Okay, so we have the 1. Here's the thing. We need to... let's do a Unicorn's Blessing. So now this only takes 1... Oh, but it takes 1 green specifically. That's mean. All right, so you got 7 damage coming in. Obviously, we're going to go for the defend, which is I would say still not even really, like, good enough. I'm going to get you... Do that here. We don't have any energy to work with. All right. Bop, 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 bop. Send it. Okay, so we have the ability to attack twice. The question I guess I have is... Yeah, it's... Okay. It doesn't matter. We get lethal here. So yeah, when there's only one left, it does go back down to needing to be specifically the one in front. When you're like off center, you get the choice. So like that's actually, it's really good. An interesting thing about this is gaining 2 energy is a lot better than gaining 1 energy because of the way that it works. Gain a dice per energy next turn and then reduce your energy by 1. That means if you have 2 energy, as long as it's on the same... Oh, that's interesting. It has to be on the same target. If one character has 2 energy, that gives you 2 dice... But then it also gives you 1 die the next turn, giving you 3 dice total. So therefore, it's kind of exponential, the value you get by stacking energy on the same target. So this is more of a future potential play. But it's also clear that there's a decent handful of fights in which you have excess energy by 1. And we have a lot of draw, and that's not really a concern, so... The sun was shining and made Red Riding Hood forget her worries for a while. She even sang a traveling song. Hey, girl with a red coat. A young man stood opposite her with nothing but a small bundle over his shoulder. Before Red Riding Hood could say anything in return, he continued, You look so happy that I'm jealous. I'm sure you don't have to carry as much as I do. As he spoke, the man held up a bundle which actually looked quite heavy. Would you like to swap? He asked. I'm sure you could use it better than I. I mean, I'm curious. Her curiosity was too great. All right, Red Riding Hood replied to the man and pulled her small bag out from under her coat. The man beamed and took the bag, and in return he handed her a bundle and moved on, humming happily. Red Riding Hood looked after him thoughtfully. Had it really been a good idea to swap? She quickly picked up the bundle and opened it. She laughed with relief. Why had the man handed it over? What? Sick. I mean, another motivation boost is just good. Activate at random. What? A random ally receives an energy or draw 3 cards or discard a card. Ally receives 1 energy and 2 fragile. Oh, I mean, that could get me what I was talking about. That extra energy. Motivation boost is just really, like... It's some good raw value, though. The Wild Boar has a 1 energy or 1 die gain block, right? Enchanted Pine Cone. Or wait, am I just thinking of his passive? No, 1 red die, ally gets 2 block. It's good. It's a good thing. So we got an attack out over here. What's your deal? At the start of battle, the Enchanted Pine Cone gets an armor and a thorns. Ugh. Yeah. I was hoping they'd swap that way. So here's the thing. We can't solve with a double attack here anyways. Okay, there we go. Now we could do a double attack if that feels right. Hell, we could even do the Unicorn's Blessing. It's fine that those are going away. All right. That's a lot of things done on one turn there. I don't mind that one bit. Decent amount of setup there. We got our extra damage, but we didn't draw less didn't draw less dice. Okay, Flower Bouquet. We got a quick idea. So the thing is, we can absolutely just throw one attack out here. Do we just throw this? It's stupid, but I kind of want to. Like, we don't need to even play Take Aim there. But we sure could. You're gonna get even more thorns. Okay, you get the block. Holy moly, APM. I mean, our draw pile is just these at this point, is the thing. Oh, I've really done it now. Like, by the same token, strength is exponential as well. It's just kind of weird. I'm hoping block blocks thorns. Because otherwise we're going to have some weird problems. Speaking of weird problems. Oh, man. There's no point. There's no point. It's just fun. You need to have at least 3 hand cards. We could obviously get the block in there. I think we will want to. So we can't attack is the thing. Why would we do that? There's no point. 2-2. I mean, you're taking 4. You're already fine. So dumb. So dumb. But the thing is, he's got so much spikes that we'll want to... Oh! Oh, okay. Okay. Yep. I hear you. Okay, we got 1 wild. Let's got to think about the fact that red, it counts as used. Please. Okay. Because the thing is, we can get extra damage out. So this is doing currently what? This is doing 11? All right, well, that's already good enough. But we can, like, play a Take Aim and then banish. And it doesn't matter. Oh, God. The fatigue really adds up, too. That's the thing. Let's just get you out of here. It's just fun. Screw it. You're up to 3 now, but we do have a pretty high amount of strength. So that does help us out. Okay, good. Let's reroll that one. All right, so we could get to the point where we attack twice. Please. Please. Okay. So if we swap... We could swap attack. with this. Like, that's the thing, is this quick idea angle, it lets me basically throw crap around, and it doesn't matter. Let's just get rid of these for a sec. We'll play the 1. Yeah, we'll play 2. So we're doing 10 damage. We're obviously going to be taking damage. Okay, good. The block works. The question is just, like, do I want to wait a turn to not take... Okay, we're only taking 1 damage. It's fine. Because thorns go down on hit, too. What's that up there? The fact that it's a random ally now, though. I'm doing it. It has its problems. I'm not going to sit here and say it doesn't. Unlock ability, heal team. Each action can be used once per site. Okay. Great. Red Riding Hood receives 4 block and an energy. Upgrade the passive ability. To what? To what? From what to what? I actually wouldn't mind your passive ability being upgraded. For 2 green, and health needs to be below 20. Give me these crap. Okay. So clearly we're like, we have like some monsters just on our side, but it seems as though we could get other like characters that have passives, etc. on our side as well. I'm trying to click the wild boar to see what my ability is there. Okay. But I wanted to see how that passive got upgraded, but it will not let me. Again, UI could use a little bit of sauce. The tracks led even deeper into the forest, deeper than Red Riding Hood had ever been before. At least she caught sight of a familiar figure. She's wearing a blue skirt with an apron and a red scarf. But the very figure was hairy, and when it moved, Red Riding Hood recognized a bushy tail with large paws and sharp claws, a wolf. Before Red Riding Hood could do anything, the wolf became aware of her. She hurriedly raised her bow to defend herself. The wolf recoiled, but a moment later, he jumped towards her with his claws extended. Red Riding Hood fights against the wolf. There was a choice there, almost like there'd be some difference. I don't know. Send him. Meh. Okay, how much? Okay, so you unlock the ability to upgrade your passive. Enemy takes 6 damage and gets a prey. Enemies can target the character with prey from any position. Okay. Early value is just good. That's fine. And I think we will upgrade your passive to do what now? A random ally gets 2 block, and the wild boar gets 2 block. So you can upgrade that even again, which is pretty interesting. Am I willing to take the 2 strength, knowing we'll get the fatigue? Yeah, I am. At the start of every turn, all enemies get a prey. It's an infinite thing. So then what's the point? What's the point of you applying prey at all then? Okay, boom, boom. There, that I was gonna say. What's the reasoning? And that's what it is. Enemy takes 3 damage for every prey on them. Ugh. Okay. That does obviously suck. Trying to... was hoping we'd get him on the same target there. Come on. Put it on the same freaking target, for the love of God. We got to think about the long-term scaling here. Okay. I'm just thinking about later. Am I willing to take some damage right now for this? Yes. Okay, so you got 2. All right. All right. 1 bad turn. 1 bad turn. Coming right up. Yeah. But now we got some wild stuff. And we do want to keep the red, because now we can upgrade the Wild Boar's passive even more. It's just funny. I wanted to do it. I don't know. And the thing is, we'll take all of the improved bowstrings, all the flower bouquets, and we'll go a little ham with it, because there's no stopping this at this point. Like, now we are just unbelievably overpowered. Boom. So we do have, let's see. Let's take it like a 1 turn amount of easy. No available target. Oh, you're right. 1 turn easy, and then we will start to pivot this into just raw damage. Oh. Oh, so you didn't have the same targets for those. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this stupidity, man. It's just so beautiful. You can obviously, like, pivot into true value by just going for this. All right. We got 32. Oh, we have no cards in the draw pile. Silly me. So we have everything. We'll throw a defend on there. We'll upgrade your passive, which is now what? All allies get 3 block at the start of the turn. It's good. It's a good thing. So we're going to be losing a little bit of energy here. I'm fine with this. Okay. I mean, ow. But, like, it's kind of just whatever at the same time. So what does it take for the final upgrade? Was that, like... That didn't say, like, 7 energy, did it? It sure does. I don't want to. All right, let's get a little silly. We'll turn this into some damage. Give me the take aim back. This is stupid. This is stupid. What am I doing? We're going to be drawing a lot less dice now. You know? We should do it this way instead. Not what I was hoping would get hit. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. We didn't need to go that hard with it. You're obviously going to be getting smacked out the wazoo. Like, I could play this safer, but We get the prey here, which is obviously scary. You get huge smacking, which obviously is annoying. We only draw 4 dice, but it's more than enough. The thing is, a red die is an unused die now. Game, you silly freaking Billy. I mean, we have so much overkill, it's not even funny. All right, what do we got for chapter rewards? Ooh. The wolf joins the team. Oh, that's fun. At the start of every turn, a random enemy receives a prey. So we just... Oh, the fact that we get that ability too is super fun. Enemy takes 3 damage and receives a prey. The wolf gains a fragile. Enemy takes a damage for every prey. Oof. That's fun. That's fun. These seem relevant to the current situation. Spawn wolf skin for 5 turns. At the start of every turn, a random enemy receives a weakness for 5 turns. That's kind of cool. Ally gets 4 strength and 3 fatigue, and then banish this card. Huh. Lying in wait. At the start of a turn, a random ally receives 1 strength. For the cost of 2. 2 mana for what, like 3 strength? It's fine. I think wolf skin is better. And an extra die every turn. It's pretty cool. Breathing heavily, Red Riding Hood stood over the furry beast, lying beaten on the ground. And now tell me, what have you done to my grandmother? She cried. The wolf raised his head cautiously. Grandmother? He asked in a surprisingly soft voice. I don't know your grandmother. The answer seemed so honest that Red Riding Hood was almost inclined to believe him. Where'd you get these clothes? She asked uncertainly. I make them myself, replied the wolf, pointing to a small basket with balls of wool just a few meters away. Why'd you attack me? She asked in dismay. The wolf sat up carefully and this time pointed at her bow. I thought you were attacking me and I wanted to defend me. I thought you were attacking me and wanted to defend me. Myself? Wolves have many enemies. Red Riding Hood could not believe that she had so misunderstood the innocent wolf. Pity stirred within her. She reached out, took one of the soft paws in her hand, and asked gently, Won't you come with me? Together we'll show people that not every wolf is bad. So the two of them set off to look for Red Riding Hood's grandmother together. To be continued. Dang, man. All right, I really like this, the team system. And that kind of building element there. It's really, really interesting to me. Let's head back to the title here for a sec. So we have, what do we got? We had the 3 characters, but that's not just it, because clearly you can assemble a full squad, which is really interesting. I don't know. There's some really cool ideas here. But alas, I think that's that. I'm going to end it here for today, because it seems like a run is probably, going to be multi-hours. A pretty big deal. Is this the Frog Prince? Perhaps? Anywho, yeah, really cool ideas with the way that the party system works, the implementation of the dice rolls. I would say the amount of turns that felt frustrating about what I rolled was really minimal, which is a big deal in a game like this. I'd say I think I was only disappointed with my roll once, which is kind of nuts. We played for an hour and I had 1 turn where I was disappointed in my roll. Is bizarre. Is that going to keep up? It's hard to say. I think that, certain characters would determine different things. Obviously, we had the boar that needed red in order to gain block. It could be a turn where we'd be frustrated we didn't have the red. It's going to happen. It's going to happen when you implement dice rolls in any way. But I'll say I'm surprised by how little frustration it did cause. I think the story weaving element is interesting. I think the very cute art style of the characters. I enjoy it. UI could use a little bit of help, a little bit of clarification on a couple things here and there, a little bit of phrasing issues, just some minor stuff here and there. But considering it's in early access, those are things that are really, changeable. Audio design, good. Music design, good. Audio balance, good. It seems like no indie game can get that right, and this one has. So, hey, I'm really pleased. I wasn't expecting a ton going in, and I'm coming out of it saying, hey, I absolutely can see a market for this game. I can see a lot of people really enjoying this one. And it's definitely different, right? It's not just a roguelike deck builder that is a Slay the Spire, you know, we'll say inspired, but like it's not a Slay the Spire copy in any way. Not even at all, really. The map looks similar, so everybody will say it's obviously a Slay the Spire clone because, boy, the map looks the same. But gameplay-wise, it's actually not that close, which is really interesting. Alas, that is that. It's going to do it here for today. My name is Retchmation. I cover indie games every single day with an extra specialty in roguelikes and roguelites. That is something you are into. This is a channel that you should be subscribed to. Thank you, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.